Hi guys, this is MJ Graphics. Welcome to our YouTube channel. So in this video, we will be looking at the fundamentals of graphics design. To be a graphics designer, you need to know what a graphics design is. So in the simplest way possible, let's say graphics design is a process of bringing pictures or images and text together to convey a message. And again, who is a good designer? That means what are the things that makes you or qualify you to be a good designer? One, you need to have firm understanding of color theory. In this, color theory are those colors that works with each other or complement each other. That means those two colors or three colors that if you bring them together, they will complement each other. To be a good designer, you need to study how color works together, right? And how they affect people's emotion. And you need to understand again color choice or color scheme. And you need to understand choice of color scheme. So that means you should know the kind of colors you will use in creating your design. As I said earlier, there are some colors that affect human feelings, but there are some color that if you see it, it's going to send a signal to you. It can make you happy, it can make you sad, it can make you emotional, right? So understanding this aspect is very, very important, so you will know the kind of color choice you will use when making a design for your clients. And we have visual hierarchy. This is the arrangement of elements in design to indicate importance and guide the viewer's eye. So there is the way you're going to arrange your design accordingly on what you want your viewer to see first before any other thing, right? So the way in which you're going to arrange that is very, very important. So you need to know. And we have page layout techniques. This is generally how you're going to arrange your page, or how you're going to put your elements on your page, how you're going to arrange them generally to suit the design or to suit the page. And again, to be a successful graphics designer, you need to have these criteria, which are: you need to have a good communication skills, you have curiosity, that is the zeal that will drive you to learn more. Okay, let's say you see a design, you should be curious, how do this person achieve this particular design? You look into it, you study it, and you try to replicate or learn how he does that particular design. Passion and drive, we have openness, we have ability to accept critics. This is very important because nobody is perfect. So if you make a design, if someone should see something that you're not seeing, they are going to point it out to you that, okay, the way you arrange this thing is not proper, I prefer it to be this way. Yes, I know we have professional way of doing things, but sometimes don't neglect criticism, right? That alone will help you, and you're going to be a good or a successful graphic designer. Then you should have a zeal of problem solving. All right, your design should solve problem. If your client gives you a work to design a flyer or something, that particular design should meet the need of your client. We have self-doubt and we have reliability. This reliability is very important as well, because your client is supposed to rely on you. Let your yes be yes and your no be no. Let's say, for instance, a client gives you a job and you assure the client that you're delivering the job in 24 hours, and you end up taking more than 24 hours to deliver the job. That will create a doubt on the client's mind, and they might not give you job again because you made them to rely on you, but later you disappointed them. So it is not really good for you to be disappointing your client. So the best thing to do is, if a client gives you a job and you know that job actually is going to take you 24 hours, you can tell the client or convince the client that it's going to take you 42 hours. so that when you deliver the job in 24 hours, the client will be more happier with you than delaying or disappointing him or her. And again, another thing is evolution. You should be researching, go on research, look at the trending designs that is going on now, right? Because let's say you learn graphics design in 2016 or 2020, and that is what you have been repeating up to now. No, you need to learn more, because there are innovative designs that are coming out, or innovative ideas that are coming out on a daily basis. So you need to take your time. You should research and check the global world to see what is actually trending. Then you follow up. If not, you will be outdated and no one will want to patronize you. And you should also introduce information and communication technology to your design, right? So that when you design, it should solve problem and it should be able to pass message across to people. So now this should be another interesting part about graphic design. Did you know that we have more than one type of graphic design? Yes, you know, us in Nigeria, we are good. We will say jack of all trades, master of none. Yes, we have been built in that way, and we are still using that same method up to date, because one person will want to do or want to know how to do many other things combined together. But in the aspect of graphics design, the thing here is, when you have idea or general idea about graphics design, you'll be flexible and you can touch any other aspect of graphics design as well. Okay, so now we are going to look into the types of graphics design. We have visual identity graphics design. This type of graphics design is called brand identity or business organization identity. Example of such graphics is logo, typography, imagery, and color palette. So there are some unique group of people who concentrate only on creating logos or brand identity for companies. Because when you say logo, some companies, let's say like Coca-Cola, they use typography as their logo because it is a stylish written word, Coca-Cola, while Apple uses a mark or an icon for their own brand. KFC use an image to identify their brand, while some people or some organization uses color to identify their brand. So when you see such things, you don't even need to know the name of that particular brand. You already know. Let's say, for example, generally we all know Apple. If you see that Apple shape that is being chopped off by the side, you already know that it is Apple that owns this product, right? So that is the power of brand identity. So you can choose to concentrate on logo design alone and you're good to go. You still make money out of it. Another type of graphic design is marketing and advertising graphic design. This particular category is being used for marketing and advertising, either physical or digital. And you all know we have flyers, we have magazines, we have poster, we have banner. I believe you all know what that is. We have physical flyer, we have digital flyer. So most digital flyer we use it on social media, while physical flyer we print it and share it around more like a pamphlet or something. Another category or type of graphic design is publication graphics design. This particular category concentrates on newspaper, ebooks, and catalogs. Then another important one is user interface graphics. We call it UI and UX, right? So this particular one deals with the appearance of any mobile or site. If you're developing the mobile application, you're going to need a user interface designer, someone who is going to design the skeleton of how the application should look like. So all those design, if you look at your bank app or your WhatsApp or Facebook, whichever application you're using, it's what you're seeing first, or what you're seeing in front of you is the user interface. So when it is being designed, then you're going to pass it to your client. If your client is satisfied, then they're going to look for developer, the app developer. They're going to bring that design into life. So being a graphic designer, you can be working hand in hand with a web developer or any software engineer. So it's not limited on mobile app development alone or design. It also goes to website. So any website you visit, there are some websites you visit, you love their interface, like wow, this is okay, and the interface needs to be friendly so that anybody who comes there might not need someone to guide them. You can easily identify or find your way through that space and do what brought you there and go out, and you'll be happy with it. That is why most of the time some software or application or website do upgrade. You would notice that okay, before it was like this, but later on it's another thing. So they used to change one or two things to make it more friendly. So another thing you need to know about the fundamentals of graphic design is elements of graphic design. If I say elements, that means what are the things that if they are being combined together, they are going to make up a graphic design. So we have lines, we have color, we have shapes, we have space, we have texture, we have typography, which is text, and we have images. So when you bring all these things together, they are going to give you graphic design. And the functions of all these elements is, for line, they are used to divide space, separate content, headlines, align text, and margin, etc. I mean for margin, etc. So line can be used for many things. Like for me, I normally used to use line guide when I'm designing. And again, color is important because it attracts attention. You understand? It attracts attention. So if you're making the design, some design are meant to be colorful, while some it's been advised you should make it as simple, seamless as possible. So most of the time, shapes come to play because you use it to emphasize on certain position or information. You understand? You can put a big shape and put a picture inside, or you can put a big shape and put a text inside. You understand? So that it will emphasize, it will not lose. There are some texts that you write and you're going to put them on the shape so that when someone is reading, it should draw their subconscious mind that this particular thing you're trying to point it out for them to notice. And most of the times, most of the most attractive or simple or seamless design, text like space play a very vital role on that. When your design is spacious, there's this sensation it gives you that you will enjoy viewing it. But everything is being jam-packed together, there's no space, nothing. There's a way you will lose interest on that particular design. And so typography is anything that deals with text in general, anything that concerns text. That is what typography is. And under typography we have font, and under font we have serif, sans serif, and decorative type of font. So I would love you to browse about typography in general. It's very, very important. Browse and research on it because I can't spill out everything on this particular video. So as you can see, this particular design contains all the elements needed in the design. It is spacious, there is picture, there is line, there is text, there is shape, everything is there. And again, you need to know the principles of design, right? The do's and don'ts of design, things to put it on your subconscious mind that you need to observe when you're making design. So the principles of design, we have alignment, the perfect arrangement of all the elements that forms that design. The way you're going to align them is very important. Then emphasis, you need to have a guide, or you're going to guide the viewer's eyes through the most important element of a design: proportion. By pointing out what is important in the design, by making the size or preparing the size of the element to one another. So if this is more important, you bring it out more bold before the other, and so on and so forth. Another principle is movement. You need to create a sense of flow movement as the viewer's eyes move across your design, so that when they see there should be this smoothness. You understand? Not to be complicated, make it smooth and seamless. Another principle, we have contrast. This helps distinguish similar elements in a design, making them more legible. And there's what we call balancing. You should make sure or ensure that the visual weight of elements is evenly distributed across your layout. You understand? So make sure everything is evenly distributed. Any element you're bringing into your design. Another principle, we have harmony. This creates visual harmony by ensuring that all the elements works together cohesively. So this means anything you're bringing into that design, make sure it fits in, it feels welcome. You understand? Because this is one of the most toughest decisions we graphic designers have, because there are some things you bring in, it do not fit, you have to return it and look for another one that you will bring it till you get what fits into that particular design. Then you're good to go. So at the end of this class, you'll be going with an assignment that you need to do and submit to the group. So this is an assignment for you guys to do. You need to go and Google search for different colors and their meaning. Right? You should Google search different colors and their meaning. Then you should look for 5 brands / company and describe their brand colors as it's related to what they do. Right? Look for 5 brands or companies and describe their brand color as it is related to what they do. Then number 3, which is what is a flyer, and list the types of flyer we have. Make sure you do that assignment. Thank you. We have come to the end of today's class. We'll continue in the next video. Thank you for watching. Make sure you subscribe, like, and turn on your notification.